Tough, S.C. Johnson. That portion was brought to you by Smart Dishwashing. Tanggal-galing ang sebo. Tanggal-galing ang bakterya. Tanggaling-galing. Ang galing ng #1 Smart Dishwashing Paste, nasa Smart Dishwashing Liquid din. Tanggaling-galing sa presyong magaling din. May tanong kami sa mga misis.
Mas importante ba ang paramihan ng hinugasang plato o ang tunay na kalinisan nito?
Hoy, misis!
Kahit milya-milyang plato ang kaya ng dishwashing liquid mo, sa kaunting patak na hinalo sa tubig, sigurado ka bang tanggal ang sebo at bakterya?
Hoy, misis!
Dapat magpaka-smart tayo. Sa Smart Dishwashing, tanggal ang sebo, tanggal ang bakterya.
Tanggaling-galing!
Kaya misis, magpakatotoo. Mag-Smart Dishwashing tayo.
Smart Dishwashing. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified. World-class quality.
ACS. Magandang hapon, girls! Si Jody ulit. Habang may araw pa, magsampay muna ng labada. Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Kala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day para ang fresh mo, girl! Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. Matthew 24:35. Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3. Mag-MX3 araw-araw para M-Extraordinary.
Magandang hapon, girls! Si Jody ulit. Habang may araw pa, magsampay muna ng labada. Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Kala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day para ang fresh mo, girl! Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Ang paborito namin candy, sarap ng mochi gummies. Mala frutas na fruity pa! Tamis na siyang choco, ma-creamy mo na mi. Lamig dala ng V-Fresh at sobrang chewy frutos. Mochi, fruity pa, choppy, monami, V-Fresh at frutos. Aming pasasalamat sa pagmamahal niyong tunay mula sa Colombia.
Happy 80th year anniversary to Columbia International Food Products Incorporated.
DZXL News Break.
At mga kasama, narito ang mga balita sa oras na ito. Mga delinquenteng retail store owner sa Farmers Plaza sa Cubao abay umaabot na raw po sa 231. Ito po yung mga hindi nagbabayad ng mga contributions po ng kanilang mga empleyado or maging sila. Yan po ay ayon mismo sa Social Security System o SSS. Kasama natin sa balita si Radyoman May Guyagoy.
Pinagpapaliwanag kayo ng Social Security System ang mga may-ari ng may 231 ng mga store owners sa may Farmers Plaza sa Cubao, Quezon City dahil sa paglabag sa Republic Act 8282 o ang Social Security Law of 1997. Ayon kay SSS President at Chief Executive Officer Manuel Dook, kabilang sa mga binigyan nila ng show cause orders ay ang AGM Apoyon General Merchandise, ang Hantag Apparel Shop, ang 88NJ Fashion Collection, at ang Rumble hashtag at Sam's Cafe. Digo mga ito na may parehistro ang kailang mga empleyado kahit nakatanggap na ng demand letter mula pa sa SSS noong June 14 ng 2017. Ang show cause order ay ipinaskil na ng SSS sa mga tindahang nabanggit bilang pabala sa kanilang mga amo na papanagutin sa batas kung hindi makatutugon. Ang nasabi mga store owners ay binigyan naman ng 15 araw upang magpaliwanag at kung hindi, sila ay maaring sampahan ng kaso. So, ngayon ito, binilaan ni Dook ang mga lalabag sa nabanggit na batas na sila ay patuloy na tutubisin at ipakukulong ng 12 taon kapag napatunayan ng korte na nagkasala. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, ang inyong radyoman sa Quezon City, Mike Guyawi ng DZXL 558 Tatak RMN.
At 2 street dwellers na kunan ho ng drug paraphernalias, yan ay sa Maynila. Kasama natin sa Maynila si Radyoman Silvestre Labay.
Nagsagawa ng puspusang rescue operation ang mga tauhan ng Manila Social Welfare Development kung saan 2 street dwellers ang nakuhanan ng drug paraphernalia sa lungsod ng Maynila. Ayon kay Manila Social Welfare Department Head Nanette Tanyag, nais nilang matiyak na walang mangyayaring disgrasya sa mga palaboy sa lungsod, kaya't sinuyod nila ang kahaba ng Rojas Boulevard Service Road, Baywalk, Team Calaw at Vito Cruz, kung saan maraming mga palaboy at mga galing pa sa iba't ibang probinsya ang natutulog sa naturang mga lugar. Paliwanag ni Tanyag, magalang naman ang kanilang pagtrato sa street dwellers o mga palaboy, pero mayroong isang babae na nagwala at ayaw sumama, pero sa pakiusap at sa kalaunan din ay sumama rin sa kanila. Dinala ang mga na-rescue kabilang ang 2 street dwellers na hindi mo na pinangalanan kung saan todo tanggi naman sa pulis at mga tauhan ng Manila Social Welfare Department na sa kanila ang nakumpiskang drug parapernalyas. Sasailalim na sa proseso ang mga na-rescue at kukuhanan ng mga personal data, at kapag napatunayang mayroong criminal records, iimbestigahan ng pulisya ang mga ito. Sa pamamagitan ng Globe Telecom, kasama mo sa Maynila, Radyo Man, Silvestre Labay ng DZXL 558 Tata RMN.
Salamat kasamang Silvestre, Radyo Man, Labay. At mga kasama, yung mga pinakahuling balita, alamin ho natin ngayon sa Senado kaugnay ng pagdinigo sa fake news. Kasama natin na andyan si Radyo Man, Grace Virgel Mariano. Grace.
Pakinggan na po natin itong nagpapatuloy na pagdinig ng Senate Committee on Public Information and Mass Media na pinamumunuan ni Senator Grace patungkol nga sa fake news. Ang maririnig po natin nagsasalita ngayon ay si Professor Florin Gilbay.
Hindi lang sa babae may dress code sa Islamic countries.
So constraints to government dishonesty, freedom of speech by informed private citizens, and freedom of the press have exposed many of these instances of dishonesty and incompetence. But they have also been dismissed by government as biased or unfair political attacks rather than efforts to promote honesty in government. Ordinary citizens, therefore, are confused by an environment where officials of the executive department, in particular, are able to disseminate false information while demonizing the press and activist citizens. Your Honor, this is a structural problem of the information environment and a phenomenon where government disinformation is able to hide behind the mantle of official action and protection on one hand, while freedom of speech and the press are tagged as political bias on the other.
To counterbalance government disinformation is through the creation of a public institution whose sole task is to identify and publicize government dishonesty. When public officials become dishonest, it is the obligation of the state itself to correct distortions in the marketplace of ideas. I propose, Your Honors, that Congress enact a statute creating the Institute for the Integrity of Information, a sort of ombudsman for public information provided by the government, or an information police for government officials. What are the main features of the Institute for the Integrity of Information? Number 1, it should be composed of a board whose members are academics, media practitioners, policymakers, scientists, information technology experts of the highest credibility and competence. Number 2, they should not be appointed by the President or by any of his alter egos. In my opinion, this can be done without violating the Appointments Clause of Article 7 of Section 16 of the Constitution. Number 3, its function is fourfold. A, to create standards for verifying information provided by government. B, to actually verify information provided by government. C, to publicize its findings. And D, to issue rewards to citizens who are able to spot fake information provided by public officials. The Institute for the Integrity of Information should be able to act either motu proprio or upon referral by citizens of a claim of fact made by a government office or official. I urge your honors to focus on a metaphor that we should recognize false information as a calamity that wreaks havoc upon a sensitive ecosystem, the information environment, or the marketplace of ideas. And so in the same way that the government has spent resources informing and warning citizens about impending or ongoing calamities through the PAGASA or FIVOX, etc., the government should likewise invest in informing and warning citizens about government dishonesty, which distorts the information environment, polarizes conversation, and manipulates citizens. There is a need to create the Institute for the Integrity of Information because the integrity of public information is essential to opinion formation and therefore public discourse. If citizens think and act on the basis of wrong assertions of fact by public officials, then our marketplace of ideas will receive and produce wrong signals, the consequence of which is the impairment of the value of truth. We live in an age of impunity, and I fear that apart from the thousands of killings on our streets, a tragedy that has received global attention, we have also become witnesses to another form of impunity, the death of truth. Your Honor, so far as I know, there is no other special public institution, such as the Institute for the Integrity of Information, anywhere in the world. I hope the Senate considers this proposal not only as an urgent and practical response to government dishonesty, but also as an opportunity to create a model legislation for all democracies around the world grappling with attacks on truth. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Professor Hilbay, for sharing that view and suggestion. It makes sense. We just don't want to add another layer, perhaps, of bureaucracy. But if it will encourage accountability, of course, it's worth it. Thank you for your very scholarly analysis.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. I hope with your indulgence, I would have wanted to raise some questions, but I need to go up for a briefing. May I just make one last comment before leaving, Madam Chair, and then try to come back later?
Senator Zubiri, are you okay with that?
I'm all right.
Okay, you're not
Thank you
coming
so
back
much,
anymore?
Senator Mix. No, I will try to come back po after the briefing. But I would have wanted to raise, Madam Chair, among others, the point that fake news also can lead to threats. And secondly, Madam Chair, just to go back to the photo that was projected earlier, if this had been done by mainstream media, by now, nag-kick in na yung internal ombudsman mechanisms nila. What bloggers like Mr. Nieto did is a demonstration that they want the stature of mainstream media without similar limitations. I am very disturbed, Madam Chair, that a resource person invited by the Senate has disrespected a member of the Senate and right at her place of work to post such posts and then to post such posts and to share them, gloating over the continuing misfortune of a person. And I seek the good chair's support to somehow make it right to our colleague, Senator Laila, and to her staff, who were disrespected in this way last night. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Risa, for that manifestation. I can sympathize with your statement and your view. Sometimes the thing that we admire in a person, their candidness, and their excitement sometimes is taken to a level where it also transgresses on other people's rights. So perhaps we can ask for a statement from Mr. Nieto with regards to this. Kasi, alam mo, totoo rin naman, kunyari, ako rin yung nakakulong at may gumanyan sa office, masakit. Although, it does not really violate any particular law as I see it. So maybe we'll just hear it from...
First, for the record, I think the issue of political neutrality was raised earlier today. So I would just like to read a statement. Political neutrality means serving everyone equally, regardless of political affiliation. I am just a consultant and I am not constrained to have political opinions. In the same way that 2 or 3 months ago, I announced on my Facebook page that even if it's not part of my job in the DFA, that I am willing to help, OFWs who have problems. They send their problems to me and I'll look for the right guy in DFA to help them. And there's even a quote there, which is a bit snarky, I admit. But I said that even Senator Risa Ontiveros can ask help from me, even if I don't like her. And I respect you as a senator, ma'am, but I have my own, opinions in life. Now, secondly, the Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs is not a sensitive office. It is a service-oriented office. Hindi po siya gumagawa ng international policy. Bali po, para lang siyang DSWD ng DFA for OFWs. Being in the government does not stop anyone, including me, from expressing my own opinion. Well, politicians in particular, you are public officials. And would you seriously say that, each one of you are politically neutral? I mean, let's just be honest here. And then secondly, somebody, I can't remember who, raised the idea that I may be a government official. Now, according to the Civil Service Commission Resolution number 021264, what year is this? Hold one moment, ma'am. I can't see the year here, but I'll just read it for everyone's guidance. Because I'm not testifying, I'm just a resource speaker. A consultant is one who provides professional advice on matters within the field of his special knowledge or training. In my case, it's the field of social media. While I did not receive any formal training on social media, I think I have sufficiently showed some competence in it, considering the amount of reach or engagement that I get every day. Thus, there is no employer-employee relationship in the engagement of a consultant, but that of a client-professional relationship. Thus, consultancy services are not considered government service, and so I am not a public official. So when I broadcast stuff on my Facebook page, that is Ray Joseph Nieto speaking as the regular citizen. But when I give advice to the OMWA, to the Office of the Migrant Workers Affairs, and that's where my job kicks in. So as to the question on whether I should be nicer to people on my personal blog, I do not think so. I mean, honestly, Madam Chair, I have criticized you several times before, but it was in the intent of telling you how you should act based on my opinion. You don't have to listen to it. But when that opinion gains traction, that means a lot of other Filipinos think the same way I do, or maybe agree to what I try to say. So instead of, blaming me for what I say, maybe people should start to listen. Because after all, we are a democracy, and when a lot of people say the same thing that I say, then maybe it's time to, stop complaining and start listening. And that's, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, siguro suggestion na lang kay Mr. Neto. Since consultant ka nga, baka pwede alisin mo na lang yung head of
okay lang po yun.
Strategic Communications, because it creates the impression that you're part of the bureaucracy.
Apo, ma'am.
Just a suggestion.
Sige po, ma'am.
No, of course, when we get likes in our Facebook, it emboldens us, it empowers us, it makes us feel that we are doing the right thing. It's not necessarily the case also that numbers will actually justify what we do. But, I can respect what you're saying about me. Yes, you've criticized not only me, but many of us here. But in being fair to you, Mr. Nieto, when the other camp, Open Source, came out with supposedly an issue about me, you corrected it with research. In fact.
Yes,
and you were a supporter of President Duterte. I mean, you were very transparent, but you came out with the proper research saying that what they were claiming is untrue.
And I would also like to state for the record that at some point in the past, there was a picture that showed Senator Risa Ontiveros allegedly holding the hands of Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and there was this chismis.
Yeah.
What I did was to post it on my page and tell them this is fake. This is just an angle. I am clearly not in favor of the Liberal Party, but when false information is shown online and it spreads, I try to correct it. And if in the events that I felt that, I did wrong, I issue errata, you could just go to the Thinking Pinoy Facebook page and look for the word erratum in the search bar, and you could see that I actually issue errata on what I post.
Yes, that's why. We may or may not agree with you. This is sometimes what we say is, hindi na natin alam paano mag-isip ang millennials. Diba? Pero, pag pumupunta kami sa mga blog, actually us, here in the Senate, we should be checking those sites so that we know how people think. Not necessarily that we will agree. But if there's anything, you do excellent research. And that's the truth. You do excellent research. Sometimes against us, sometimes for us. So I hope you keep that neutrality. Like, if you're in a board, you can be an independent director. You can be in government, but an independent consultant. So I guess we can continue with our questions now with Senator Miggs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, yes, I'd like to reiterate, in fairness, I've read the blogs of Thinking Pinoy, and many times when mistakes were pointed out, he had corrected them, and that's highly appreciated by people also from our side who gets flack from all other bloggers. And I would like to go back, Madam Chair, on the mainstream media. One of our ex-colleagues actually texted me, and she asked me to ask these questions because many times on the mainstream media, you post the story also online, but sometimes it's not corrected. No, sometimes they post fake reports and accuse somebody online. Then they take it down, and the editor simply says later that the one who posted it has no authority whatsoever to post. And because of that, but the damage has been done. What do you do? What's your policy, Madam Chair? I'd like to ask the mainstream media, what's your policy on that? Do you actually penalize your members of the media that post it online or post fake news online? Maybe we could start with ABS and afterwards interaction.
Yes. But I don't understand. Are you saying, Mr. Senator, that if there is someone who posted a story on our news site and that person is not authorized to do it?
For example, Madam,
it doesn't happen.
Madam Chair, for example, there was one particular site where it was posted the Duterte drug addicts, the number of drug addicts. They quoted a 2004 figure, not the 2011 to 2012 figure, which was the right figure that was supposed to be quoted. And so it was taken down, but the damage has been done already. Parang lumalabas, nagsinungaling ang presidente and all that with the numbers that he was quoted. But there was no punishment. There was just basically what the editor had said, that the one who posted had no authority to post that figure, but the damage has been done. I just want to get your sense of that, okay, if that happens.
I'm not very knowledgeable about that particular story, but like I said, we have internal mechanisms where the aggrieved party, whether private or public, can come to us and complain. And we have handled a lot of cases like that. And yes, we're not infallible like all other traditional media, so we could make mistakes, and when we do that, we make corrections. And if we fail to do that, or anyone who is part of that mistake, we will have to start an investigation about it and then provide the proper sanctions.
You have I believe the ABS has like an internal ombudsman for that particular...
Yes. We have two internal mechanisms. One is the network ombudsman, and the other one is the news ethics unit, which handles all of the complaints.
How about with the other mainstream media?
Doon po sa pagkakakwento nyo, in a scenario like that, mukha namang kung merong nag-post na hindi authorized, that's clearly something that's even internally is an offense. It will be investigated. The person involved will be dealt with and penalized if necessary. Do we have an ombudsman at TV5? Yes, we do.
Well, also this goes for all the outlets. No? We just started making an appeal that, as mentioned by the chair earlier, yung self-policing, wala na po si Attorney Dean Tony Lavinia, because it's been our experience that self-policing is not actually been the case, no, except for mistakes, blatant mistakes done by the networks. Then they come out and they issue an erratum. But when it comes to especially like newspapers, newspapers and online articles, Madam Chair, medyo may kakulangan. That's why it's also important that we tackle again the issue of right to reply. And the right to reply issue, maybe this day and age might be needed to be discussed thoroughly. Because now iba na. You can be hit immediately and online. And I think it's not fair to many of us in public service. We can take a punch. But pag putik na at o ano nang tinatapon sa iyo that's unfair, I think we have a right to reply as well. I've had particular experiences when I've written several dailies and it would never come out. Our answers would never come out. And if there was once a time that it would come out 2 weeks after. The story is done. It's hidden in the editorial page. And I think that's not, again, that's not fair to those who are working in public service. Also, Madam Chair, on the issue of the Kokoy Dayaw and this article, unfortunately, the chairperson is here. You're taking over. So I'd like to ask this time the NBI.
Go ahead.
Attorney, is it Dr. Manuel? Are you also a lawyer, sir? Sorry, I am an accountant, sir. You're an accountant?
Yes, sir.
But you're chief of the cybercrime division. What's your expertise on cybercrime, doctor?
I was taking the administrative aspect, management ng cases, being referred to us, assignment of cases. So we have a technical people from our digital forensics to assist us. Our people are trained in the conduct of cybercrime investigation, Your Honor.
Has Senator Soto approached you to investigate this particular issue on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Were you able to give information to Senator Soto and the committee on this particular issue, sir?
We have submitted a progress report, but we asked him, if possible, not to reveal the result of the initial investigation and not to jeopardize the future investigations that the NBI will be conducting so that we can gather additional evidence.
But in your opinion, Dr. Eduardo, Mr. Eduardo, the statements made by Silent No More could be considered libelous in your experience of handling cases?
Regarding what particular issues?
The statements made against the 7 senators.
If it can be established, it is, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes,
and so meron na pong ongoing investigation?
Yes, sir. We started the investigation last September 28.
Yes. Thank you. When will you be able to finalize this investigation, sir?
2 weeks more, Your Honor.
Thank you. On the other matter that I would like to take up with the KBP, because yung self-regulation, sir, Attorney Jularbal, on the self-regulation aspect, not all members of media are part of the KBP. Is that correct, sir?
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Yes, not all members of broadcast media are members of the KBP. There is GMA, who is not a member, and also PTB4.
And I believe also many other media outlets in the provinces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Your Honor, there's a proliferation of provincial as well as municipal level broadcast stations, and not all of them also are members of KBP.
Yes, actually that's a big problem now, and something that we have to discuss again maybe in the next committee hearing on the proliferation of so many media outlets in the provinces. Kung may fake news dun, talagang talagang yung mga politiko, kung sino-sino na lang binabanatan dun, hinuhubaran. Talagang ika ng hinuhubaran. Wala po kayong
police power dito sa mga ito. When I say police power, do you have any sanction given to these media men, sir?
Your Honor, on that matter, the KBP and National Telecommunications Commission are cooperating on this. And in fact, last week I met with Commissioner Cordova, and as a result, he issued a circular, I think yesterday, requesting KBP to assist them in getting information on these radio stations. So we will be providing NTC information on their location, their frequency, who are the people behind it. Because per our own investigation, it looks like a lot of these stations are not even licensed.
Attorney, sandali lang, attorney. Mukhang nagka-aksidente dito.
Senator Mix, can we request also to accompany Mr.
Yeah, we have a
Edward
clinic. Oh, there was an accident. I believe the tripod fell on our NBI Chief of Cybercrime Division. Tripod. We'll ask those, please escort him to the clinic. Mukha na ma-aksidente. Kanino pong tripod yan? Sa PTV4 ba yan? Sa RTV? Okay. So again, attorney, sorry.
Sorry,
I lost my train of thought. What was that again, attorney, on the...
I was saying, Your Honor, that on the matter of these stations in the provinces that are proliferating, based on our own investigation, a lot of them are not licensed. That is why we are coordinating with the National Telecommunications Commission, and our members are being asked under a memo circular issued, I think, yesterday, to provide information on the stations. The NTC committed to close them down if they are unlicensed.
If they're licensed, I think, attorney, but some of them are also in other stations that are licensed, probably members of the KBP. Does the public have... Is there a mechanism within the KBP that the public can actually go to for complaints?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, we have been announcing this even years ago. All they have to do is to write a letter or email KBP, and we will motu proprio take action on a complaint.
Of course, without sacrificing or without the, how do you say, stifling the particular victim from filing legal suits.
Yes, Your Honor. It's in fact under our procedures, if a victim of offensive broadcast or a broadcast that they feel offended them or damaged them, files a criminal case or even a civil case, the KBP will suspend proceedings to give way to the cases filed in court.
Thank you. And just as the last statement, no, I think we've had our share of fake news. As a matter of fact, Madam Chair, in 2013, I recall 1 week before the elections, internet posts came out saying that I will file a bill, and I was no longer senator then, that I will file a bill to having HIV as illegal. To be illegal, something stupid as that. Having HIV is an illegal act. Of course, the LGBT community freaked out and they attacked me. I don't know, I think you remember that, Michael. I told you, he defended me and said that that is not true. I would never say such stupidity. But it's nevertheless, that type of fake news has been coming out lately more often than before. As a matter of fact, it has already achieved this purpose in the last 2016 presidential elections in the United States, where admittedly fake news on the hacking of the electoral map of the United States and all emails of these voters were sent fake news, and therefore could have possibly moved voters to vote for a particular candidate. And so therefore we have to do something about this, Madam Chair. I think Senator Bam has his share of fake news. He's from the opposite side of my political fence. I've had my share of fake news also from those that are friendly to their side. I think it's about time that we be able to police this. And on this particular case on Silent No More, Your Honor, Madam Chair, I'd like to just put this on the record that we want to hear from Mr. Kokoy Dayaw, and in the proper time, if he does not attend, we will move for a subpoena, to compel him to attend here. And I hope he, we go to the bottom of this, and I hope he tells us what motivated him to destroy the reputation of 7 senators. Okay lang po kasi politiko kami. We can take the heat. We file a bill, people don't like it, they can attack us. But wag naman yung wala kaming ginagawa, tapos ginawa pang kwento, tinira kami. I think that's foul. Kasi as I said, I would have been willing to sign that resolution. Senator Bam knows me when it comes to children, women, and issues of that. We fully support it. We fully support these types of resolutions. Kaya napakasakit sa amin na ginawa itong pamulitika ang klaseng resolution na yan. So, Madam Chair, with that, I'd like to end my interpellation, and I'd like to thank the Chair.
Senator Mix, kung lahat ng tira sa atin, sasagutin natin, yung mga walang basihan na hearing tayo araw-araw. On the other hand, you will attest to the fact that media's been calling for this hearing on fake news. But I'm a little bit worried about legislating when it comes to things that will affect freedom of speech. But I think it's timely now that all of your opinions have come into the open and we need to discuss this freely. Senator Bam, thank you for...
Maraming salamat, Chairperson. So magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I know it's getting a little late, but I'll try to be as brief as possible. Unang-una, yung pahayag na fake news. It's a generic term. I think Mr. Desillas mentioned this earlier among other individuals, and DZXL also mentioned this. Pero sa pakiwari ko po, meron pong iba't ibang klase yan. So we have outright falsehoods, and later we'll show you some examples of some falsehoods. Merong hate speech na iba rin, ibang category rin yan. And Senator Ontiveros isn't here anymore, but if you read the hate speech na nabato sa kanya, it's really terrible. Talagang hindi ko talaga acceptable yan in a decent society. Sana ma-rape ka, sana ma-rape yung anak mo, sana mamatay ka na. And we should not countenance that. We should not agree that that is within the bounds of freedom of speech. Kasi nga may hangganan yung freedom of speech. Pangatlo, meron din pong parody, na may nagpapatawa lang, or meron pong konting, it's a satirical, but unfortunately, marami ho sa mga kababayan natin, hindi ho nakakaintindi ng satire or ng parody. In fact, it's quite funny, there's this site called Pinoy Observer, na patuloy na nag-share yung mga tao, patuloy nag-comment yung mga tao, galit na galit, grabe, galit na galit. I don't even remember what issue it was anymore. But if you look at their About Us, aaminin nila that there is that satirical side. We're here to make you laugh, parang ganyan. So even that in itself is already problematic kasi yung pinapalabas na nakakatawa o parody ay hindi rin naiintindihan na parody ito. And this happened a number of times during the campaign itself. And then meron tayong mainit na komentaryo, mainit na opinion. And I'll agree with the bloggers here on both sides of the political fence na ang panahon natin ngayon ay panahon ng mainit na komentarya. And as public officials, everyone from the president to a barangay captain, an ASEC, and even a consultant, we are open to this. In fact, si Mr. Nieto always calls me a cosplayer of my uncle. I don't mind. I have high respect for cosplayers at pogi naman yung tito ko, so I don't mind. Ganun lang talaga. However, when your commentary or opinion suddenly has, may malicious intent or meron kang pinupush na agenda, and there are times, even Asik Mocha, I see this sometimes in your posts, nagtatanong lang po, mga ganyan, di ba? Si Mr. Nieto, does Bam Aquino have anything to do with this? You can always hide behind saying, I didn't say it. Mr. Lopez, di ba? I didn't say that it's categorical. Pero yung dating kasi niya, it comes out as fact. Now, you're right. Wala pong batas stopping you from writing a certain way. And this has happened many times in the past. Kahit po mga regular columnists, ginagawa naman talaga yan. However, we need to agree na wala nang space ang ganito sa ating lipunan ngayon because we know better. Because nagkakaharap na tayo dito lahat eh. Diba? Okay lang. Tell us if you don't like our vote. Kung tumayo kami laban sa EJK, sabihin nyo. And some of you have said, no? Hindi tama yan. Ginugulo nyo lang yung presidente. I think some of you have said that. That's fine. Because yun talaga yung posisyon namin. Ayaw namin sa mga bagay-bagay na ganyan. And we're clear on that. And you can berate us to death regarding our side and regarding what we're trying to say. However, kung gagawa ka ng kwento, magko-connect the dots ka, Mr. Nieto, sabi mo nga, you're a political opinion maker. Is that correct?
Well, a political observer.
And you like to connect the dots.
Yeah.
Paminsan-minsan, those dots don't really connect. And paminsan-minsan, they do. Is that fair to say?
Well, the thing here, Mr. Senator, is I am open to criticism in the same way that when a commenter said that link is weak, I say, yes, it's enough to raise reasonable suspicion, but not even enough to complete probable cause.
Okay.
And that is why we have to ask more questions.
Now, Mr. Nieto, you're right. You're not breaking any law.
Yes.
But you look at the US, within hours of the Las Vegas shooting, meron na kaagad fake news connecting the dots na, oh, this was a plan of the Democrats. Oh, this lady liked Democratic pages, etc., etc. You can also say that that person is just connecting the dots, is just making political commentary. But we know na hindi siya maganda, hindi siya tama, hindi siya ethical. So ako, pakiusap ko na lang sa inyo, I know that you like to create these scenarios. Your scenarios, Mr. Nieto, nakakasama rin yan. It does hurt real people. For example, kinonect mo si Nines Roll. Nines Roll worked in my office for a while. She left, I think, around 2014. She's now working in a private company. Sa pagkakaalam ko, wala na siyang kinalaman sa politika. And you make a very thin connection to Mr. Dayaw with no proof, with no allegation, with no evidence na may kinalaman siya, just to say na magkakilala sila and she owned the pro-Pinoy side.
I think I've been very clear on the side, and even in my succeeding comments, that I never implicated Mr. Roll. And
okay.
My stance was invite Mr. Roll and ask her about it, because what we need here is more information about how this entire propaganda machine works. Now, if the good senator thinks that how I conduct myself is unacceptable based on whatever dissenting standards there are, I think he should legislate against it.
And we probably will, to be frank, no, Mr. Nieto. But hindi naman, ito kasing nangyayari sa atin ngayon, no, blogging and the rise of our social media demagogues. This happened before legislation was able to catch up. So alam naman natin hindi ito maganda. No, alam naman natin na nakakasakit ito sa mga tao. Hindi ba pwede, can't we, on our own, try to be more fair? No, and let me go lang to Asik Mocha. Can't we try to be more fair? Ang rami mong post, no, regarding the minority, regarding the Liberal Party. Not once, no? Not once humingi ka ng side namin. Not even an attempt, no? And now you're an Asik of the PCOO. Nasa posisyon ka. And to be frank, I wish Secretary Andanar were here para matanong natin directly, no? Kapag meron kang post na, mali yung picture, I think we will show it later. Kapag mali yung picture, ano yung consequences niyan, Asik Mocha? Sinasabihan ka ba ng boss mo, ni Secretary Andanar, na mukhang maling picture yan, fake yan.
Ano po ba yung picture na yun, Senator?
Can we show it nga? This is I think the Honduras Army, if I'm not mistaken. You're familiar with this?
Yes, Senator.
Ito, naglabas ka ng maling photo. So this is a falsehood, mali yung photo. I'm not saying, wala namang masamang intensyon eh. Maganda naman yung intensyon, pagdasal yung ating mga troops, no? Bakit mali yung photo na nilagay mo?
Madam Chair, unang-una po, hindi ko naman po sinabing sila yung mga sundalo natin sa Marawi. Hindi ko po sinabing sila ay sundalo natin. Shinare ko po yan mula sa isang page, at ang hangarin ko lang po dyan ay ipanalangin po ang mga sundalo.
Ba't di ka nilang gumamit ng totoong photograph ng Philippine Army? Napakasimpleng hanapin.
Kasi po, napukaw po yung puso ko dito sa caption ng photograph na ito na ipanalangin po yung sundalo. Kaya isinare ko po yun dahil nga pray for our soldiers.
Kaya nga, ang dali-dali maganap ng photograph ng totoong Philippine Army. Bakit hindi yung Philippine Army yung ilagay mo? Kasi mas gusto mo tong picture.
Kasi po sinare ko po siya, sir, mula sa isang page. So sinare ko lang po siya. Hindi hindi ko siya in-upload. At nakalagay po doon, pray for our soldiers.
So, sino nag-upload ng photo?
Nakalagay po doon, Cinemotion Digital Films.
So, it's another group that posted the photo?
Yes, Mr. Senator.
Okay, all right. So, this was reposted. This was not your photo?
Yes.
All right. So, in the course of your blogging, ikaw ba lang yan mismo or PCOO actually,
Ako lang po. Ako lang po, sir.
In the case, ASEC or maybe USEC EGCO, of allied bloggers, no, like Thinking Pinoy and other allied bloggers, yung kasama sa yung core, yung dinadala nyo abroad, do you provide talking points to them?
As far as I know, Your Honor, nothing is provided to them. As far as I know.
ASEC Ana, as far as you know rin ba yung sagot mo, yes or no? Meron ba kayong pinoprovide na talking points sa kanila?
Nakaka-intimidate naman, sir.
Kasi yung as far as I know, it doesn't mean anything.
No,
yes
we
or
don't
no?
provide talking points, sir.
Okay, not even press releases that you ask them to talk about. That's quite normal.
Yes.
Doesn't the Malacanang press corps really provide press, even to the regular press? May press releases naman yan, di ba? I don't know, Robbie, can you help me out here? The Malacanang Corps of Reporters, they do get press releases from Malacanang. Yes, could you ano?
Yes, they do.
So do you provide press releases to the bloggers as well? Or no, not even?
No, sir.
Not even?
Yes, sir. We provide it to Malacanang Press Corps, sir.
And they're not part of the press corps?
They're not part of the press corps.
Okay, all right. O sige, let me go to my presentation, no? So meron nga tayong apat. Meron tayong falsehoods, meron tayong hate speech na potentially libelous, and as Drilon had said, merong remedy for that. May remedy dyan, no? Lahat tayo pwedeng kasuhan ng libel. Pwede kang kasuhan, pwede akong kasuhan, pwedeng kasuhan yung nagsulat nun, nung 7 Deadly Sins post. That's available to the public already. Merong parody rin. But let me just show some examples of some really outrageous fake news. Firstly, we have been able to collate 87 sites that provide fake news. We also have the list from the CBCP. The CBCP came out with a pastoral letter a number of months ago talking about sites na merong fake news na naglalabas. In fact, RJ, if I'm not mistaken, ThinkingPinoy.net is part of this list, no, ng CBCP.
Actually, for the record, Mr. Senator, number one, I wouldn't really say that I am allied with the PCOO because the fact of the matter is I've written 2 articles which attack these 2 people. Assistant Secretary Banaag, when she cited something about the revised penal code, and I was really disappointed in her, but I love you, ma'am. Number 2, against USEC Joel Edco regarding the PT Form's statement on Aznar. So
that's 2 out of...
I'm sorry?
How many?
2 viral articles.
How many articles have you had since the start of the Duterte administration? Every day?
Since I started Thinking Pinoy in November, I have about 200 articles.
Okay,
yes.
200 articles. If we do an analysis now, ilan doon yung against ASEC Banaag? Maybe we'll find 1 or 2.
Well,
if we do an analysis of how many are against the political opposition, I'm sure it's much higher.
Yes, of course it's much higher because I think there's more things wrong with you.
So in short...
that's my
exactly.
opinion.
But what I'm saying, RJ, is wag mo sabihin na because you had 1 article on ASEC Banaag, hindi ka na part of the Duterte groups, no? You self-profess to be a Duterte supporter.
Yes,
and you're a member or you're a consultant of the DFA.
Well, number one, Mr. Senator, I say that I am Duterte aligned, but not Duterte allied, because I criticize PCOO a lot, and that's why sometimes Secretary Adler doesn't even want to talk to me anymore.
Oh well.
But the point here is to say that I am allied. There has to be some sort of
that's your opinion,
understanding.
No? The CBCP list of fake news websites, kasama si ThinkingPinoy.net dyan. You know that, right?
Yes, and GMA actually asked me about it.
Yes, please.
And my reply was asking the CBCP about what news to believe or not. It's just like asking a lawyer if you have cancer or not.
Okay. For the record, Madam Chairperson, I'd just like to state that the resource person we're asking to explain social media belongs to a list of fake websites of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. So I ask the chairman to please be more, maybe in the future, we can be more discerning with who we ask to present here as well. No?
Now, Senator Pang, we're talking about fake news.
Yes.
So if he is categorized as a member of those blogs that are in the fake news category, then you have him right here and you can verify whether it's true or not.
So, kumbaga mas alam niya ang tungkol sa fake news.
Hindi. It's for you to determine whether he belongs to that category or
anyway, Mr. Chairman, I'm just saying that he is on this list now. Now, we also did the research.
Maybe biased in some ways.
Well, he's on the list. This is categorical. This was read in all the churches on a Sunday. No?
Well,
anyway, let me move on. No? So, on Facebook, for example, and we want to ask ASEC and USEC on this point. Kasama sa listahan na to, on, not yet this one, but on the 80s, not yet that one, rewind. Maganda naman yung photos ko kay ASEC Mocha so okay lang sa akin yun. No? Hindi sa'yo yun, iba yun. Anyway, if you look at all of these sites that the CBCP has pointed out as fake news, plus our own research, umaabot na po to ng 87 fake news websites. No? Is it troublesome, Yusek Joel, na marami sa mga sites na to carry the name of the President? Is that troublesome for you?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman and Your Honor. Of course it is. But pinag-uusapan din po namin yan. And I think ganun po kasi talaga isang problema yan eh. Yung i-identify mo, it's so easy to put up a website, name it after Bamakino.
Or the President.
Or the President. And then pagka na-booking ka na, you take down the site and you put up another. So,
agree.
Yun po yung isang kwan yan. So,
okay.
But however, the effect is, yun nga po, it's alarming.
It's alarming. It's troublesome, no? It's also bad for the President. Is that safe to say? Kapag may mga fake news sites that
I suppose so, yes. I suppose so, yes.
Right.
Kasi that's one form of false information eh. So people would think that these websites are actually allied to the President's camp.
Okay. Not so even aligned, just allied?
Not even aligned.
Okay.
So yun yung danger doon eh. So how to check that? Yun po yung actually
right.
dapat.
And in fact,
we have to identify to determine.
You want to say something, Asek? Ayan. So in fact, Madam Chairperson, you will also ask NBI to do their forensic research kung sino ho talaga yung may-ari ng mga websites na ito. On our research, pati na rin yung 40 fake websites na binanggit ng CBCP. No? We also want to know who is earning from these websites. Sino po yung nasa likod ng mga ito? Because, let's be fair. If we are doing an investigation, let's go all out. No? Asek Banam, do you agree?
Sir, I'd like to make a comment on how CBCP was able to come up with something on fake news. First, what to them is fake news? And of course, second, where is silent no more? Is silent no more?
No, this was released early on. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was released maybe 4 or 5 months ago. No? What's the date? January. So medyo matagal-tagal na. So maybe we can invite them next time, no? They can be here and we can talk to them. Ano yung naging basehan nila?
Yes, sir.
And maybe they have an updated list.
Yes, sir.
The CBCP.
Yes, Madam Chairperson. Alright, so kung makikita nyo po itong mga iba't ibang mga sites, it does include the name of the President. We have Duterte News, Duterte Defender, DU30 News Blogspot, DU30 Worldwide, and some that don't have his name, no? Hot News Phil.blogspot, Liberal Party Site, .wordpress. Iba-iba rin talaga to, no? Magkakaiba siya. So, if we are going to undergo this investigation anyway, we will request NBI.
Lahat
ng... Yes, ma'am.
May maikli lang sasabihin si Mr. Dasillas. Alam mo naman...
Yes.
Ma'am, can you say it like in 1 minute? Kasi...
Ang problem lang kasi sa listahan na yan, kasi they cited sites, no? Dapat kasi, mayroong mga site kasi na nagko-combine yung fake tsaka hindi fake.
Abot tayo dyan, ma'am. We will get there, no?
Madam Chair.
Just as a second, RJ, no? So itong 87 fake news websites natin, we went through it and we'd like to share with you some of these posts, no? So the first major one, and I'll go over mine quite briefly kasi I'm sure alam nyo na rin yan. The first major one about myself was really about our food waste bill. And it's a pity, no? Kasi itong, although I think I look very boyish here, Madam Chairperson, no? Medyo boyish, no? I look good there. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. That's fake news ba? Or that's real news?
No, you really do look good.
Thank you, RJ. Salamat.
No filter.
This was the first fake news, no? It came from a site na Marcos Loyalist site, no? Hindi siya outright falsehood. It was twisted. The facts were twisted. At yung Zero Food Waste Bill, ginawan ako ng quote, mga tira-tirang pagkain ibigay sa mga mahihirap, which of course is an outright falsehood. Hindi ko talaga sinabi yan. And that's not really the subject of the bill. Alam mo, we all receive, Senator Trillanes is here, we all receive negative comments. Medyo sanay na ho kami dyan. Ang sayang lang ho dito, yung bill na matay. Because of all of this fake news around it, hindi na namin matulak-tulak yung batas na to. It is a bill that will collect unused food from supermarkets, from different areas, and then it will be given to the SWD for usage of communities who are hungry, and which is done in many, many countries. But the bill practically died because of this fake news. So, isang casualty po yan ng fake news. Next. Ito naman kakaiba talaga. There was this rally in front of the US Embassy na may nasagasaan. I think you all remember that. In a blink of an eye, napakabilis. Kami daw mga dilawan ng may kagagawan yan. And it was quite outrageous, no? Third, yung kay Marawi. And this was really the one that hurt the most because this was from Secretary Aguirre. Yung kwento ho niyan, Madam Chairperson, umikot na yan sa internet. Umikot na yung balitang yan, that fake news na may kagagawan ako sa Marawi siege. And it became even worse when Secretary Aguirre mentioned it to his press corps. This is the worst because this is about terrorism. This is treasonous already. Napakasama po niyan. Yung kamukha mo si ganto, kamukha mo si ganyan, kilala mo si ganto na may kakilalang ganyan, okay pa eh. Ito, napakasama talaga. It's really, really bad, no? And, you know, our 7 colleagues are so incensed that, you know, they're being accused of not supporting the EJK resolution. I think this is even worse because here you're being accused of being a traitor to your country. So napakasama ho talaga nito. Now, it became worse when an official of government broadcast it. And this, I think, is where one of my points, no? Eventually, when we craft the bill, who is really responsible? Unang-una, it's the writer, pero mahirap pong hanapin yun. Secondly, it's the broadcaster. Sino yung nag-broadcast ng fake news? Because a number of, well, ASEC and RJ, sometimes we use posts from other sites that eventually turn out to be fake.
Well, if you can cite one, I'm thinking Pinoy, or I'll say if it's fake.
Well, there was, can we show that nga, please? Nag-iratum ka eh.
Alin po ba?
This one.
DZXL Special Coverage.
That time check was brought to you by Bygone. It's good to be tough. S.C. Johnson.
For the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Romans 6:23. Ang mabuting balita ay hatid sa inyo ng MX3. Mag-MX3 araw-araw para M-Extraordinary.
Magandang hapon, girls! Si Jody ulit. Habang may araw pa, magsampay muna ng labada. Huwag ma-stress, mga bes! Mag-Kala Detergent. May light and fresh fragrance that lasts all day para ang fresh mo, girl! Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Dahil may light and fresh na bango, feeling presko ka with Kala Detergent Floral Fresh.
Isang araw, nag-text si Jeff kay Ruby.
I love you, Sen.